Hello. All right. So I got 4 or 5 more really good exercises that I would like you guys to try. Stick around. Okay, so exercise number 1 is for your upper back and the backs of your shoulders. We'll call it the 3-way back fly. It is multi-directional and it's working the back side of your body. Whole lot of benefit to doing that. I'm not going to explain that today. I just want to show you how cool and great this exercise is. It is one you need to try. 2 fundamental ways I'd like you to try it. Number 1 is the more challenging way. We're going to use dumbbells, and this requires some core stabilization to protect your lower back. But I got a dumbbell in each hand. My palms are facing each other, and I'm going to make sure I got that neutral spine, so a slight anterior pelvic tilt. And I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades together as I pull my palms apart, then bring them back together, then swap and do the other diagonal, and then I'm going to do what I'll call neutral normal. What's really important is that if you see me from the back, this is what my shoulder blades are doing. Pinching them, releasing them, pinching them, releasing them, and pinching them. That stretch and that squeeze are really, really important to engage the amount of muscle that this exercise has the ability to do. If being in this hinged position is going to cause problems for you, there's a way around that. You might set up a band or a cable and do it from a standing position. You can work the muscles the exact same way, and this time we don't really have to worry about engaging our core nearly as much as you might in that hinged position. For an exercise like this, you're going to want to keep the weights relatively light. My working set is up to 20 pounds. Most of my clients are working between 5 to 10 pounds in each hand. Rep-wise, if you count all 3 ways as 1, 5 or 6 is enough. That ends up being 15 to 20 reps. It's a lot of movement, but a phenomenal exercise. Okay, so exercise number 2 is a current favorite that I'm doing with a lot of clients who now have learned to love and hate it at the same time. It is a sort of plyometric squat, and there's tons and tons of different ways to do it. I'm not saying that these are better than any others, but they might be unique or ones you've not tried before. Number 1, I call the squat drop. It is all about range of motion and absorbing soft plyometric jumps. So this is sort of based off the exercise that you might know as a squat pickup, where you squat down, pick something up off the ground, and your legs go wide, one hand goes down. So I just found a way to make this exercise that already burns a lot, burn a lot more. So all I'm doing to make this exercise more tough for you is increase your range of motion. I want you to try to squat deeper. I'm gonna basically tap my hand to my shoulder and then drop my elbow down as low as I possibly can. So legs go wide, I drop down, get my elbow as low as I can, come back up, obviously flexibility dependent. Some of you might have to stop here and that's okay. What I don't want to see is a big hip hinge. I want a lot from the knees. What a lot of people will do wrong is they might jump wide and then kind of go down like that. That's not really what I'm looking for. If that's the case, you might be better off just stopping with your hand as your set range of motion. If you have the ability to go wide with control or low with control, your goal is dropping down as deep as you can, soft landings. One other thing people get wrong is a slam like that and then a squat. I don't want hard landings. I want you to try to listen to your feet. If you can hear them, you're landing too heavy. Your goal is land like a ninja, as soft as you can, as quiet as you can. You could hold light weights right here and make that a lot more challenging if you want. Another side variation of it, one of my personal favorite exercises is a weighted goblet squat jump. This requires a whole lot of core stability, making sure you're protecting your spine. Because it's plyometric and because it's loaded, I'm gonna squat as deep as I possibly can and then explode out of that range of motion, fall right back into it, as soft as I possibly can, every single time. Anything plyometric is gonna raise that heart rate, so prepare to be out of breath. 2 very great jumping squat exercises. All right, so one of the greatest fundamental core exercises to teach people how to stabilize their spine and dissociate their thoracic spine and hips from their lumbar spine is a dead bug. Great exercise, and there's a lot of different ways to progress it. Make it more challenging to make you stronger and more capable. Here's one of my favorites, and it's simply just the weighted dead bug. So we got our normal dead bug position, which is lying down on our back, head is on the floor, our lower back is close to the floor, maybe not touching. We want neutral spine, which is our normal spine position. That means that it is not fully tucked and cramming against the floor, and it's also not fully arched. It is somewhere that is normal, maybe a slight hand could fit under there. From there, I'm gonna elevate my legs, maintain that position, and here's where it gets challenging. Modified or scaled by the weight you have on the bar. I'm gonna hold this weight up in front of me, and I'm gonna lower my leg down and pull back up with the sole goal of having 0 change in my lumbar spine. My lower back does not know that anything else is moving. My goal is to stabilize and dissociate my lumbar spine from my hips. Slow and control. This is a very humbling exercise. If it's not a challenge, either you're not doing it right or that weight's not heavy enough. Very good exercise to try. Last exercise. An exercise that we hear a lot that people want to be better at is simple push-ups. Simple doesn't mean easy, but they're a really good exercise, a fundamental human movement, and there's a lot of ways to get better at it. One of the number one most important ways to improve with a strength exercise is to do it eccentrically or negatively. We are always stronger when we lengthen muscles than we are when we shorten muscles. Meaning that when I'm doing my push-up, I have the ability to resist more force on the way down than I can produce on the way up. So that is exactly how you do it, the way I just did it. You're going to use that strength curve, our advantage of long and strong muscles going down on our feet, and then you're going to drop to your knees for the way back up. We are stronger on the way down than we are on the way back up, so we use our strength on the way down and then modify to come back up. It's going to be frustrating. Push-ups are a frustrating exercise to get better at because it's going to feel like a long time before you get better at them. But I promise you, doing them negatively as best you can, even if it's 2 to 3 good reps and then stopping, is going to take you a very long way in progressing your push-ups. That being said, I will coach a little bit more here on how to do a proper push-up. Some of the issues that we see a lot of people face is elbows flaring wide, or that forehead pulling forward, or maybe you can make it all the way down, but then you come up and you're like that. Those are a lot of common errors. Some of the main things to focus on are that 45-degree bend in the armpit. So from the floor's view, I got this rather than that. Elbows are tucked in just a little bit, a little more help from the triceps. The other thing, the motion is not straight up and down. The motion is, this is exaggerated, but it is forward and it is up and backward. Down and forward, up and backward. In reality, that might look more like this, just a small forward and backward. And yes, that will make it tougher if you're not used to it. But as you progress, as you practice that, it's going to get you a lot farther than your standard straight up and down push-up if that is not, or if that's how you've been doing it. Okay, surprise, I'm tossing in one more exercise here. I want to show you how to do a wall sit the correct way. What I see a lot of people do on wall sits is load up their thighs with tons and tons and tons of weight, 500-600 pounds. Yes, that's still tough. That's a lot of weight on your body. But all I want you to do to take advantage of this exercise a lot more is get those weights off your thighs, put them in your hands and lower them next to you. Oh my God, is that so much harder. This is changing that lever length, and now my quads are engaged and firing a whole lot more than when I'm placing those weights on my thighs. This basically deloads them. Down here, it really, really heavily loads them. This is so much tougher. I'm already shaking just a little bit. The weight you're gonna do is gonna be 10 times less, but the effect you're gonna see from doing that, the strength gains, the muscle gains, way, way more. Try it that way. All right, so that about does it. Simple and sweet. That alone itself could be a workout if you follow all 5 exercises and do them on your own. Or as a group, that could be a whole workout of itself. Otherwise, take these exercises, pepper them in, try to progress them, and you're gonna see your body change in ways that you like. Thanks for tuning in and have a good day. Bye-bye.